That's
All
okay.
right.
No problem.
Okay. Hello.
I'm so sorry.
We're just setting it up.
Welcome.
Now we know where
We're just
everybody's
glad you're
from.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to our Green Compass Conversations with Medical Professionals. My name's Holly Bidlack. I am a Master Director and Presidential Founder with Green Compass. I'm also a nurse anesthetist. I just kind of mentioned that. Thank you all for being here. Tonight, we're just going to take you on a journey with three separate journeys with three different nurses. You're going to hear from me first, and then you'll hear from Devin Shaw. He's going to share his story and some great nuggets. And then Tara McCrary up in the corner, well, she's in my corner, my top left corner. She will close us out with her story and some great information to keep in mind as well. So you're likely here because you're in the health field and know someone in Green Compass, or maybe you know someone else who's in the healthcare field and they think maybe this opportunity would be amazing for you. Or maybe you've approached somebody from the company because you're already using CBD. Either way, we just like you to leave this chat with a greater sense of kind of who we are as a company and then what this opportunity might look like for you. So I'm going to start with my story. My husband Rob and I experienced the most difficult of times in November and December of 2018. Our then 9-year-old daughter had not slept a full night without waking up screaming for 4 months straight. I get choked up when I talk about this. On top of that, she started to withdraw from all the things that she really loved, you know, her easel, her piano, and her microphone sat collecting dust. And then it happened, and this is like a parent's worst nightmare, I think. You know, our beautiful child told us that she felt like her heart was pounding. She felt like her throat was closing, and she asked us if she was going to die. Somehow we got through that night. I have no idea how, but then divine intervention sort of happened for us. I came across some conversations on Facebook, of course, because that's where we find all our information. There were parents in there and they were discussing success with CBD for anxiousness and sensory issues and all the things that we were dealing with our daughter. So I've been a nurse for 20 years. I've been in anesthesia for 14 years, and I can tell you that I have never heard of the endocannabinoid system. And I had never heard that it works with CBD, with receptors, and all the things to bring about a sense of balance. And to be honest with you, I just thought it was all marijuana. And, you know, I didn't really understand there was a difference between hemp and marijuana, you know, with marijuana being psychoactive and then hemp, of course, not psychoactive at all, and having very high CBD, which is very beneficial. But at that point, I was about willing to try anything because we had gone the medication route with our 2 older children when they were younger, and they had a lot of side effects from prescription medications, and we just didn't really want to go that route with Kaylee. We wanted to go a more holistic approach, which was kind of new for us. So we were very excited that our daughter slept the first night that she tried CBD. And I truly thought I had died and gone to heaven because I was like, she finally slept. And then we all finally slept. And then everybody was finally getting along better and feeling better. But we noticed quickly over a few weeks that, you know, her mood was better. It wasn't just about sleeping. It was her mood and her ability to focus, you know, in school and with homework. And my husband and I were starting to feel better, and, you know, less backaches, fewer issues with swollen, stiff joints, you know, as you're getting older. And just really an overall sense of calm. Like I just didn't overreact quite as much to things that would normally irritate me. So I started to read up a little bit more because not only am I a nurse, but I'm also a bit of a bargain shopper. And my husband and I have dabbled in some direct sales companies in the past. And I knew if we could just find a company that was selling CBD through the direct sales channel, we could get a discount on products. I'm just being totally honest with you. I don't know if you've ever done that before, but everything is practically sold through direct sales, right? So, but this is when I found out that not all hemp is created equal. And in fact, upwards of 80% is actually coming over from China. The hemp that we're getting our CBD from in the US, 80% is coming from China. Kind of scary because they don't test their soil. There's no strict guidelines for any of that. You know, and a lot of it's not third-party tested. So another little divine intervention happened for us, if you will, and a Facebook friend reached out to us and told me about Green Compass. She told me that our president, Meredith Cook, used CBD after having her boys when she wasn't feeling herself. And she described that like feeling like that fog had been lifted. And a couple years later, she wanted to give it to her boys. But she found what I found: not all hemp is created equal. And, you know, she really just kind of turned to her husband, Sterling, who has, he's really into agriculture, more into like the business side of it. And she said, we need to create a CBD. We need to create a CBD product that's pure and that all families can feel safe using. So Sterling reached out to friends, Adam and George Wooten, who just happen to be farmers with 6 generations of farming experience. And their families actually had been farming organically since the 1970s, which is kind of unheard of, really. And he was very surprised and pleased that they were already part of the hemp pilot program in North Carolina. So it was kind of like amazing sometimes how things work out. But so as a nurse, I really, when I heard about this, I knew that I could only partner with a company who was farming organically, you know, had third-party lab testing, and then was using CO2 extraction, because those were the things that I was learning were very important. Not only did Green Compass fit that mold, but having Meredith and Sterling's story like really tugged at my heart because of our personal journey with CBD. I can't say enough good things about them, guys. I could go on forever, but I won't. But one of the things that's really cool, and again, as being a nurse, a QR code on the bottom of every tincture is amazing. You scan this with your phone, your smartphone, and you bring up the lab report that goes. You can find out what's in your product and what's not in your product. So it's easy to see why we jumped in, and I do have to credit my husband a bit because he's been in business for himself pretty much his entire life. So he really kind of saw the big opportunity piece to this that I maybe kind of didn't see right away. But we joined on launch day, February of 2019, and we've been blessed to grow a team mostly in the New England area, but all across the US states. And my dream of homeschooling my daughter is finally coming true. In fact, we filled out the application just a few weeks ago, and we heard recently that she was accepted. So we're just so excited. You know, our daughter's really struggled with a lot of sensory and emotional issues since the age of 3. And there's nothing like being there for your children, you know? So we're just so happy that I'm gonna be able to do that. So I started this business alongside my anesthesia career full time. That was back in February of last year. And now I'm down to 20 hours a week. This is my personal journey. And by the end of the year, we'll have many more opportunities as well. Lots of choices to make. And it's great to have choices. You know, I like to say it's like my husband says, do you want the house in North Carolina or the pool? And I said, I want both. And so, and instead of ors, I want more ands in my life. So there's this saying that goes something like, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life, right? You've probably heard that. Well, what if you were to share amazing life-changing products that so many want to get their hands on because the benefits are so vast? And I'm not going to go into all of them. You can totally Google anything in CBD and you'll come up with them. Now imagine sharing those products that might help with so many things in a market space that's untapped and growing at the speed of light. And I'm not going to get into too much about that because I don't want to take from what Devin and Tara are going to discuss, but it's kind of mind-blowing, really. You know, even 18 months in, I'm still like, pinch me, you know, it's kind of crazy. So thank you for listening to my story. And now I'm going to turn it over to Devin Shaw. He is a husband to his beautiful wife, who's actually a nurse practitioner, funny enough. He's a daddy to 3 kiddos. He is a nurse anesthetist for 7 years. Actually, he's a chief nurse anesthetist. And he's also a master director and presidential founder with Green Compass. So go ahead, Devin, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Holly. I love hearing your story and how much this has changed your life and with your daughter and everything. It's just awesome. Really appreciate that. So yeah. So first of all, whoever invited you here, you definitely need to be thanking them, because I'm telling you right now, this just a couple days ago was I'll get a little bit more into my story, but just a couple days ago was my 1 year anniversary with Green Compass. And I went back and looked over all my numbers from what I was able to accomplish, and my jaw dropped to the floor. I was absolutely just amazed with just everything, because being a healthcare professional, being a nurse anesthetist, I think definitely helps being in healthcare. But this industry is just skyrocketing, and I just so happened to stumble upon this, and I was very grateful for that. But I definitely, as someone reached out to me earlier, that would have been even better. But basically, I decided to look into CBD and look into how I can help others with CBD, because my wife, she's a nurse practitioner at Moffitt. She does breast oncology. And she was telling me for months, she was just like in amazement how CBD had been helping her patients so much, being able to get off of certain medications and helping with different ailments and all kinds of stuff. I was just like blown away, and I really didn't know much about it. So doing anesthesia, being a nurse, being in healthcare, I had to research everything. I was like, well, I'm definitely not touching this or jumping in on this unless I do my due diligence. So I did, and I went down the rabbit hole of research, which is what I love to do. You just keep asking yourself, but why? How does that work? How does that work? And you just find this never-ending amount of education and knowledge that's out there about the endocannabinoid system and CBD and how it all works in your body. And I was just blown away about how I never really heard of this before. I thought it was so strange. So I was really looking into it, and I was actually looking into doing this more of a wholesale route, because that's immediately what came to mind, right? So I was like, all right, well, I found some companies in Colorado and California. They're organic, they seem all right, but man, you got to put like thousands of dollars down. You have to buy all this product, and then I have friends or whoever I'm gonna give this to. Now I have to either package and ship it myself. I need like a credit card processor, and oh, am I going to get a store over there? Then I have to pay for that. And then I'm going to have employees, and I got to pay them. What if they call out sick? All these things. Then I start backing out of this whole thing, right? So on Facebook, someone who had posted about it just kind of came across my newsfeed, and I was like, oh, Green Compass. This looks interesting. Let me look into it. And once again, went down the rabbit hole of research, and I was just blown away with how amazing this company was. How we were one of the only companies that are USDA certified organic and being vertically integrated, which I didn't know even what that term meant before. But what that means is we control every step of the process, from planting that seed into the ground all the way until packaging and shipping. So there's no breaks in the supply chain, and we can control everything. And that's really important, because like Holly said, 80% of these hemp plants are coming from China, and they're using them over here. And the Chinese are smart. They've been growing hemp for a long time, because that hemp plant is what's called a super accumulator. It actually absorbs CO2 4 times faster than trees. So they use it for absorbing pollution, and they send it over here. That's what these companies are all using. So I knew I wanted to help people with this, and it had to be a good company. And then when I started researching what exactly Green Compass was and how they were a network marketing company, and I saw how much it was for me to get started with them, I was like, is this a joke? I get to start my own business for that. So not only was I looking into doing something because I wanted to help people, but also doing anesthesia or doing anything. I'm just thinking about the finance part of this whole thing, like having tax deductions is a good thing too, right? So I was like, all right, so now I have my own business, and it's not even a risk to get involved, because you end up just getting a bunch of awesome products when you're part of this company anyways. And now I can help people and educate people about CBD and all of this, because I'm also just someone who likes to educate people. Because doing anesthesia, I also am a clinical coordinator for the University of South Florida anesthesia students that come by. So I love teaching. I love talking about this stuff. And then when you're helping people as well, it's just even better. So I just jumped in, and like I said ago, it was a year ago, on July 1st, blown away. Every day with this business has been such a blessing for me and my family, not only financially and what we're able to do now, and what our future goals are, but the fulfillment of truly helping others. The testimonials that I get from people are unbelievable. And it's really the driving force of why I decided to spread the word so much, because that's what this is all about. We all love to help people. We're in the healthcare field. This aligns perfectly with what we already like to do. So it has just been one great thing after the other. And this is something, if you wanted to jump in and do it full time, you can. There's plenty of people that do this full time and make a really good living from it. Then if this is something where maybe you just want your car payment, you know, you want something to help pay for your car or your mortgage or whatever it is, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of, you can really get out whatever it is that you want. And especially being in healthcare, I think you have a huge advantage, because we're already talking to people about health and wellness all day, every day anyways, and we have that trust factor. So I think when I talk about CBD and I'm trying to help others with it, it carries a little more weight than if I wasn't in healthcare, right? So I would definitely say whoever invited you to this, you definitely should give them a big thank you. This company is shattering expectations. Just to give you an idea, the CBD industry is projected to be a $22 billion a year industry by 2022. And that is according to a study published by Forbes magazine. So it's not some random thing out there. It's a legit publication. You can check it out yourself. And when you have the right company going this way, in the right industry going this way, it's going to go with or without us. It's just a matter of, do you want to jump on and see what happens? And that's all it takes. You just jump in, you see what happens. And a year from now, you might be sitting there like me just being absolutely blown away with what this opportunity has done for you in your life and how fulfilling it is to help people this way. So thank that person. And I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of listen to me. I'm kind of like Holly. I feel like I can talk about this for hours. So, you know, it's try to definitely like tone it down a little bit, but I do want to introduce Tara, who's the next speaker. She's been a nurse for 24 years. She has 2 daughters, and she is also a Green Compass presidential founder and has been part of this company since pre-launch. So Tara, take it away.
Thank you. Yes. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm always so worried about my stuff. So thank you guys for showing up. I'm going to make this, like, I know 9:30 is approaching. We just appreciate you guys getting on. And you guys, we are so thankful that you guys took the time, you know, as medical professionals, you know, whatever that role is for you. Nursing was always is my 100% passion. And I was always one of these people that would go to all your friends' parties, buy all your friends' things. I never, ever, ever saw myself doing this, and still can't believe it, actually. And, but what happened was, I learned the industry and that we were just sharing products and things we were passionate about. And so I didn't have a lot of experience when I joined Green Compass, but I looked at, all I had to do was kind of look at, the product, the company. You have to realize I got involved before there was a product to speak of but what I was able to see, I was able to meet the founders. I was able to meet the farmers. I was able to meet all the people that were putting this together and what they were saying this product was going to be. And when I researched CBD and the benefits, because honestly, I didn't know much about it at all. And I mean, once I looked into what the product was doing for people, what I could see, what they were saying, I was like, oh my gosh. And then secondly, I looked at the industry. I looked at the business side. Was this going to be a big deal? And what they were projecting was like the industry was going to go from 500 million to 22 billion in like 3 years. And I mean, a product that works, if it did, and an industry like that, I knew where the founders of these other companies were, right? So I just thought we need to get involved. And we did. We went we were all in. Todd and I both. We were all in, sharing the excitement of Green Compass, sharing of what was going to be. And we did this without a product. Guys, what happened was in 3 weeks, of people using our products. They were coming to us saying, I've used CBD for years, couple of years even, and I've not seen the benefit I've seen with this product. At that point, I knew we were golden. Not only do we have the best product, and I can say that now, in pre-launch, I wasn't sure, but now a year into the business, just a year, we've been in there a year and a half now, but a year into the business, we had almost 30,000 people using this product within 1 year. That's crazy. You have to know, as being in the healthcare industry, like, we were actually going to market just to providers, just to pharmacists, just to therapists. Meredith and Sterling, that's what their intention was. They knew they had a good product. They knew they were going to put it out there. That was their first sales model. And it was really in waiting for that to happen that people wanted it. Word of mouth spread, and people were reaching out. Please let me have this for my grandmother. Please let me have this for my child. And they started looking into the direct sales route. They knew that that was the quickest way to get this into consumers' hands the fastest, which means that many people, more people would benefit. And so they totally, with no experience, not knowing what to do, just hired the best people to drive us there. The corporate team, the sales team, they took all of us on with very little experience, a lot of us. And guys, it's not anything but the product, and the product sells itself. And we know because of the thousands of people that are using it. And we're just so grateful. You know, I saw this as an opportunity, did not know what it was going to be. Never in a million years knew I could have time freedom, financial freedom that this has given our family in such a small amount of time. So to be honest, it's kind of like, if you in your gut feeling, I mean, I can tell you if you're on here, you know, thinking about the product, like, just use it, just go for it, because I can promise you it's risk-free, 30-day money back guarantee. I tell everybody, I'm like, what do you have to lose? You only have to gain. And the business side is the same, guys. You actually can sign up to do this, like Devin said, with a small amount of money. You're going to get more product than you ever imagined. And you're going to get 2 months of, like, your tech fees paid for. So you get to choose for 2 months. You get to decide if this is for you or not, to be honest. We've got amazing incentives, bonuses right now. This company has put everything out there for us, and that's why we've grown so fast. And I mean, we're 3 to 5 years out. Sterling always talks about how with the innovation, I mean, we partnered with our UNCW, our university here in Wilmington, their laboratory, to create new innovative stuff. Guys, the fact that, you know, when we ended up with, you know, being able to have an antibacterial hand sanitizer, just like that. And we were able to create things that we need on a dime, like, just because we can, because the product is right there. We grow it, we harvest it, we chop the thing down with a machete. Like, y'all, you need to see Farm to Family. It's amazing. I'm just saying. But guys, I'm going to close it here. This is a company you can trust. That's why we partnered with them. As medical, you know, people, this nursing, being able to help this many people with this product goes along with what we do. And it was a no-brainer for me to give it a shot and to just go for it. So I encourage any of you guys that have it in the back of your mind, you know, you're thinking about it, you know, go for it. Use the product. A lot of our customers have to become advocates because of the passion that they see the result, and they end up just as passionate as we are about having to share it with people. So thank you guys for joining us. If you have questions, you know, put them in the comments, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye, guys.